days, it's way too long between when I change my strings. It's always longer than I expect. It's been a couple of months already, so I'm kind of surprised. One of the most popular videos on my channel is actually about neon strings, luminous strings. For some reason, this is the most popular video. 15,000 views on this thing, pretty incredible. But on there and some of the other string reviews, I get a lot of comments, and one of the comments I got was around, well, if you're trying covered strings, you really should try these Brian May gold-plated strings. And you know, I try different strings on the guitars, and then I go back to the D'Adderios on the electric and the Elixirs on my acoustic, and those are the ones that sound best. There's some other strings that occasionally are kind of cool, but usually I go back to the D'Addario and I wonder why I'm trying anything else. But gold-plated, I mean, how could you not want to try and see what that sounds like? 24-karat gold electric guitar, and they're priced accordingly. I think this pack cost about $35, $36 compared to $12 or $13 that you can sometimes get D'Adderios for, so they are more expensive. And I'm not a shredder. I'm not going to play guitar like Brian May, so I'm not going to demonstrate why maybe he likes those strings. But I was just intrigued, gold-plated. I just wanted to hear what that sounded like. So I put these things on here expecting to be unconvinced, but what I found was they, not only do they look really beautiful on the guitar, right, they actually look fantastic, but they sound amazing. They sound beautiful. Now, my particular guitar playing style, I play a lot of different styles, but the one I play most in my own music is kind of an indie rock grunge kind of thing, influenced by people like Bob Mould. And Bob Mould has a lot of open upper strings kind of ringing out through the chords, and that's sort of how I write. And often I write on the acoustic, and then maybe I record that way with layers of acoustic and touches of other things like electric. But when I go to perform solo or with a three-piece, you know, got to pare it down and pare down the arrangement. So often I'm carrying the whole rhythm guitar with just the one guitar. So I've got to find a way to flesh that out, strum the chords in a way that doesn't interfere with vocals, but doesn't sound too much like, some strings can make it sound a little bit too jangly and too trebly, and there's just too much drumming going on for an electric guitar. So sometimes I'm in the practice space or at a gig and I just feel like this sounds a little too jangly, and I struggle with getting a sound that I like better. The D'Adderios are a bit more predictable. The last strings I tried, the Voodoo, Child, Hendrix, Bullet Ends, didn't like how they sounded when I played live with them. These Brian Mays, they don't sound jangly, they sound warm, they sound resonant, they've got a deep middle and lower range, and the upper range doesn't sound too trebly or too cutting or too jangly. So there's a way that you can really play full chords and let those open strings ring without it sounding a little too cacophonous. So for me and my particular playing style, when I'm playing my own music, these are a real find. For lead guitar, for playing distortion, distorted chords, clean tone chords, I couldn't really find a sound I didn't like. And I was trying all of the pickup selectors, I was trying different levels of treble and bass, and no matter what I did, it sounded great. Every single sound I tried sounded great. I played some lead, a little bit of blues, or just kind of pretending to shred, not that I can. Played some jazz chords, whatever I played up and down the neck, everything sounded great with these strings. So these are a real find. I've paid for coated strings before and being disappointed, particularly with the luminous strings and some of the other DR coated strings that I've gotten. So definitely a pleasant surprise. The Brian May gold-plated coated strings sound fabulous. And I haven't just tried them out here at home, I've also gone to the practice space with them and really liked what I heard. I've used them during guitar lessons, liked how they sounded, and I played a gig last week, full gig, and I loved the sound of it all the way through. So they've been tested, road tested quite a bit.
have little faith, you don't get to climb.
I'm probably most pleased about these strings out of all the strings that I've tried recently over the last year or so. Warm, full-bodied, bassy, shimmering, gold sounding, full chord, individual note, just beautiful, beautiful tone. So a lot of thought and design went into these strings. Very pleased about them, but yeah, you're gonna pay a bit more for them. I don't know if I can afford to string the guitar exclusively with this type of string, but it's extremely tempting out of all the strings I've tried. So just wanted to share that. And if you like what you see on the channel, as always, do hit the like button and click subscribe. Use that bell icon so that you know when I post new content, and I'll see you again in the next video.